Quick trade recap. Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2025. I took two trades today, one on MES and one on MNQ. Both of these trades were based on structure with the volume profile and just overall general structure. Of course, Delta always plays a role in all of my trades, so it definitely played a role into this trade. Let's start with the structure. So basically, what we're looking at here, I'm going to switch over to MES first. MES had beautiful structure starting yesterday. We had this higher low in the middle of the day. We shot up throughout the course of the rest of the day, and we get a little pullback going into the overnight session. And as soon as the overnight session opened, it kind of just a couple quick candles to the downside, and then we started pushing up. We broke through, got another higher high, and pulled back into just in the pre-market here. We pulled into another higher low, and we got a really nice delta spike right around here. I'm going to show you on the candlestick chart here in a second. Also on the high time frame candlestick chart, this is a 4-hour with a 90-day profile in the orange there. We obviously had a nice low down here yesterday, right? This is kind of where we set that higher low. And you can see that we did it on the 90-day profile right at the bottom of this distribution. We have this really beautiful low volume node here. And so when we came down, tested it, and failed, my expectation is that we would roll up just the way we did and probably pull back and get an opportunity to trade, which we did. So if we look at let me switch over to the other screen. If we look at the candlestick chart, this is where we came into that level. And I'll kind of shoot over here a little bit. You can see where we pulled back real quick in the overnight session and pumped up, set a new higher high. And then we came back down into this distribution from yesterday. Now on this chart, the orange profile is yesterday's volume. So as we pulled back into that high distribution from yesterday, we started printing strong delta to the upside. And this is kind of a little indicator I created. The white candles mean one thing, the yellow candles mean another, but basically the sum of it is there's a lot of buying energy here, a lot of delta. And so when I saw this, I don't always love trading the pre-market. We don't always get the sort of action that we're expecting when the bell rings. But this was just too good of a setup. It was, the structure and not just higher highs, higher lows, but the way things played out on the higher time frame with the volume profile was just too attractive. So when I saw this, I definitely wanted to take this long, and it worked out really, really well. We opened up. You could see this push on Delta on the opening candle, and we just kept marching up, marching up, marching up. Eventually, we got to a point here where we had about 13 points booked. And, when you look in the overnight and you see this higher high, I generally will try to take a look at the formation of the candles. We had a big delta spike to the downside when we got up into this range. And so when we came across and we started playing this down a little bit, I saw this thing start to go high delta to the downside. It did pull back up a little bit for me. I went ahead and took that off. And then all of a sudden, if you can see this really low volume right here, we moved very quickly to the downside. And this, the lower the volume, the quicker the candle, right? That's a general rule. So this thing just flipped out to the downside. And, it turned out that I almost top ticked that trade. It was a really nice trade. So we got about 13 points out of that times 5 contracts. So if you look in the trading window over here, we got 63.75 cumulative points, which is good. It was a nice little trade. MNQ was basically the exact same thing. So I'll switch over to the candlestick chart for that. And if you look at, let's go over to the structure charts here, and on NQ, I look at structure a little bit less. It's a little bit less important to me because NQ can just be all over the place, and it's a little bit less predictable just looking at higher highs, higher lows, that sort of thing. But what we did have is we had a very similar pullback into structure here, right? It's very, very similar. And that was a really nice trade. That's just drifting up right now, but that's not the trade I took. We came out of the midday lower low, and the lower range was printing higher low, and then we came in for another higher low right here. And while it was a little bit deviating from the higher range in white, it still offered an opportunity. And let's zoom in here on the candlestick chart real quick, and I'll show you what I was thinking. Okay, so basically on the candlestick chart, we end up pulling back into the exact same place where we saw ES have a lot of energy, right? So we pulled into this, and I'm going to slide this over just like I did on the other one. And you can see yesterday's profile had a big volume spike in the same spot. We had this low volume node right behind it, right? So we we're really at a great volume profile shelf. And as soon as we got down there, we started printing heavy delta to the upside, just like we did on ES. And I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and take a trade on both. And I took the long here as well. We pulled back a little bit, no worries, and then we started moving up again. The NQ was a lot choppier today than ES was. So, when this thing started getting choppy on me, I went ahead and just waited for it to come back up and test it again. And I decided I was going to take it off there, kind of the same gut that I had as we hit the highs of the MES trade. So it's basically the same exact idea. Like I was saying, we had some weirdness on the higher time frame, but if you look at the lower, it was lower low, lower high, higher low, right? And then it maybe not qualified as a swing, but higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So we definitely had a trend established to the upside. We got that delta right in the pre-market. I went ahead and took that long. So we had some really good trades right out of the gate. So I was up about, I think, $600 at the end, and which is not going to make anybody rich, but it's definitely a really nice add at the end of the week on Friday. We had a really nice play here off the previous day's high. Um, so if we look back here, right, we can see that we were the high of the New York session was right here, right? So it's 2169 25 169, and as we came back into 25 169, we tested it again and we had a nice rejection right here on this delta thrust, and an entry here would have been a great short, but I decided to stay out of it. I didn't want to mess around with it. We had a nice profit. It's Friday. I want to go into the weekend happy, no regrets, and just enjoy myself this weekend. So nice trading day. Hey, listen, if you like these recaps, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe. You know the drill with YouTube algorithm. It helps me out a lot, and it helps promote the idea that I can keep on making these videos. So thank you very much. See you later.